What else? What's the next one?
Asphodel is in all of the sprays.
Oh, good.
So I think that's probably a good springboarding point to jump off on.
Right. I was hoping you were going to ask me about that one.
Were you?
Because, yeah, I think some people, well, especially with the liquid smudge, I think people expect for it to have sage in it, or sweetgrass, or cedar, or sort of any of those other plants that we typically associate with, and First Nations smudging. But we use asphodel, and the reason I use asphodel is not because I don't love those other plants, because I really do, but the spiritual properties in asphodel are about grounding. So the nice thing about that is, so asphodel is going to put you back into what I call the here and now, and so there's an aspect of that that's going to be related to safety. It's going to be related to coming back into the moment, so that you're not spinning off into the future trying to solve potential future problems, and you're not dwelling in the past. It brings you into the here and now. And it's fascinating because asphodel, the spiritual or the mythological properties of it, because it grows in and around the Mediterranean, was typically used and associated with, and you'll see this online sometimes, so I think this is maybe where people get confused, is it was used as a plant for, it was associated with the underworld. So that sounds like deep and dark and scary and that type of thing. But what my understanding and my research with asphodel is that it's about bringing you into that moment, so bringing you into the moment of the present, so that you can navigate whatever it is that you need to navigate. So it's a little bit of a wayfinder, but its real true properties are to put you back into the here and now, so that you've got that like sense that you're not missing out on your life, right? Because you're not projecting forward in the future, like I said, or you're going way, way back into the past. So that's kind of like, that's the thing I love about asphodel the most. But I'm just going to check my notes and see if there's anything else that...
So I think grounding is a bit of a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
And I think besides like putting your feet on the ground,
yeah, how else do you do it?
How else do you ground?
Right.
And am I right that asphodel is really grounding?
Yeah, it really is. And the thing about it that helps it with the grounding, and I was just reminded of this from my notes, is it has that clearing aspect to it too. So the same way that sage or sweetgrass has a clearing and uplifting effect, that clearing aspect of it helps you to come back into the moment, because the moment doesn't feel so scary now, right? Because there isn't a whole bunch of like negativity or confusion or other stuff that's going on in your field or your environment that would cause you on some level to be like, ugh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to feel that, that's too much, or that feeling of overwhelm. So that was another part that was the traditional uses of asphodel, was that clearing of people when they were going through some type of transition in life, was to make that easier for them, because they're not carrying forward all this negative baggage. So how would I sum up asphodel, the spiritual properties of it? I mean, it's clearing and grounding, but there's a lot to those words, right? And grounding can be something that I think feels scary for people if they're in a negative environment, or if they're in like an emotionally charged household or something like that, where they're like, oh, I don't feel good being here. Yeah. The clearing aspect of the asphodel with the grounding, I find, is way more powerful as a combination than just a plant that grounds, or just a plant that clears. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. So it's like, it helps you to not only get into the moment and get grounded, but to also be comfortable in the moment.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Well said.
Beautiful. Bravo.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you have another one?
Yes, we definitely do.